Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Radical SR8 Championship Round 3, live from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. I am James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by Tom Cairns this evening, who's going to come along for all the action. We've got 3 races for you as well, 2 20 minutes and a 25 minutes, both with reverse grids, top 10 reverse for race number 2 and a top 5 reverse for race number 3. Let's bring you up to date with the scores on the doors at this moment in time as well, and we can bring you straight into qualifying. The scores currently are this: when they decided they want to work and want to come up, here are the scores. John McCutcheon out in front at 121 points, with Luke Maxwell in second, Jamie Bird in third. Then we got Ewan Bramer in fourth, Paul LeMay in fifth, then Paul Crabb, David Rolliston and Eric Harmon. Stephen Mellis in ninth, then Graham Matthews, Lucas Friera, Richard Jones, Mike Buson and Menno de Graaf, the last of the point scorers. We have got quite a short field here this evening. We've got 10 drivers on the racetrack due to the Christmas time and the Christmas period. And of course, some of them are away and doing all the things with family, but we're still going to run this evening, and it is Mosport, and it will provide some absolute epic action as always. So hold on to your hats, sit tight and get ready, get your drinks, get your popcorn and enjoy some epic racing classical tunes. Good evening, how are you? Craig Jones, welcome in. Thanks so much for joining us. Times have been very close in practice. They were all about round of run 11 mark. So keep an eye on that one. They're going to be very, very close indeed. They're going to be providing some epic action, I'm sure, here this evening as well. But I believe I'm joined by Mr. Tom Cairns in the booth. Tom, welcome in.
Hello James, hello to everyone gearing up for some action in this Radical SR8 Championship around the Canadian Motorsport Park. We are looking at what looks like Paul LeMay there. I can tell because of the traditional livery that he tends to run across various different championships. But we've got 10 drivers out this evening. I know we've got loads who would be with us, but because of the timing of Christmas, they would prefer to spend time with their loved ones, which we can't really blame them for. But we've got some action. We've got a 10-minute qualifying session, and we've got 2 races. We've got essentially a heat, or a sprint if you want to call it, and then we've got the feature race later. And we should be in for a cracker of an evening with the likes of John Hutchison, very much one of the dark forces, if you like, of this championship. He knows how to tackle this racetrack and what these cars are like. And so we hope to see them putting on a brilliant show. And yeah, just to correct myself, there are 3 heats. My apologies for that.
Yeah, so we got 2 20 minutes and a 25. As I said, top 10 reverse for race number 2, top 5 for race number 3. So times in practice this week have all been around the 111s. They've all been very close indeed. 111.443 from John McCutcheon, right the way down to Ewan Bramer, who's done a 111.927. So there's been 6 or 7 drivers in and around that 111 mark. So hold on to your hats, because this one is going to be very close indeed. Mario Andretti straight away is going to lead to some great drafting here as well. So just keep an eye out and see how we get on. But it is John McCutcheon leading the way as of this week as well. Did well last time out, took 2 victories in race 1 and race 3. Jamie Bird did win in race number 2. So it's been very close action all of this time. Last time out at Mid-Ohio, that's where they were, obviously, on that one. Once we've done this, we do go into a break, and we do come back on the 6th of January at Suzuka. Then we'll be going off Dakota with a Zolder Alternative on the 20th of January. Then Zandvoort on the 27th. Then we go Watkins Glen, Interlagos, and we finish off at Le Mans on them. So that will be the calendar for this one. Le Mans will be an endurance race, so hold on to your hats, because that's going to be very, very interesting indeed. Mosport, very interesting circuit, great circuit for racing, nice and short. These drivers should have a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and it's a short racetrack compared to a lot of the other circuits they'll be racing at. And I mean, Canadian Motorsport Park was the former home, I believe, of the Canadian Grand Prix. back in the 70s before they moved to Montreal. Motorsport Park, it's the shortened version name of it, but it's essentially the same circuit. With not too many corners you need to really negotiate, really, apart from perhaps one or two braking zones. But other than that, it's a fast-flowing racetrack, nevertheless.
Yeah, it hasn't changed since its conception in 1961. It's been the same all the way through, never changed whatsoever. Turns 4 and 5, there's only 10 corners on this race circuit, and ones that can really make a difference. Going through turn 2 is going to be tough, and that run up into turn 4 into Moss, which is the one we're on board with Paul LeMay now under the Continental Bridge. You can see that drop downhill. Then we've got this uphill braking zone, and then we've got to keep the car flowing all the way around this corner, and then we can get on the gas up the Mario and Jody Straight. It's going to be here and into turn 8. That's going to provide some great racing, some great action, some great overtakes. It's going to be tough for these drivers, I think, but it could be anybody's race.
It could be anyone's race, and looking at the times, it is relatively close between the field. Luke Maxwell setting the pace so far with his 1 minute 11.9, less than 300 of a second faster than Paul LeMay, who is coming alive this evening. Lucas Ferreira in 3rd place, and it's Mike Bousson in 4th position. John Hutchison, interestingly, is in 8th position. I thought it'd be a lot higher than where he is at, but maybe he's thinking about the heats later on, because I'm losing track of the format, James, so you might have to go over it again for me. But I think there is a reverse grid involved in this on the back of what we see in Quali.
Yeah, no, on that one, it is literally 3 heats coming up here as well. And top 10 reverse for race number 2, and a top 5 for race number 3, which will be 25 minutes on that one. So we'll see how they get on. John McHutchison just has had a very, very bad qualifying indeed, and this could be summed up by this off track that he's run here coming through turn 1, and unfortunately he did get it all a little bit wrong, a little bit further up as well. So for John, a little bit of a rough quali, and is down in 8th place. So yeah, not good for John McHutchison, but we'll see how he gets on. Paul LeMay setting a purple, going into 2nd place in this one here. Lucas Vieira, purple and a green, and then a yellow on top, sets the time at a 1:11.7. 1:11.9 for LeMay, 1:11.96 for Maxwell, and then we go into the 12s with Mike Bousson. There's only going to be in 9th place, Stefan Mellis is going to get his lap completed. Jamie Bird's gone into pit lane, and then Graham Matthews should be the final one to set a time. Nobody else is really going to get a time on the board for this one. So unfortunately for Graham Matthews, he's going to be starting at the back, but if he finishes at the back, he will be on pole for race number 2, and that's kind of the important bit here for Graham Matthews.
Well, there's always a blessing if he starts at the back, so Graham Matthews. If providing he has a clean enough race, he'll be able to start at the front for race number 2 if that's what he'll be thinking. But Lucas Ferreira, since we were talking about the times, has managed to leapfrog his way up to the top of the timing pages as we enter the last 10 seconds before the checker flag falls for qualifying here.
Yeah, it will be a hard reset for these guys, so it will go off in about 3 seconds time. If they're not over the line, they're not going to be done for this one. And Quali is coming to an end right about now, and then we will go over to race number 1. We will have a 5-minute grid between race number 1 and the race number 2. So these guys will be a little bit, and then we'll have race number 2 with a warm-up of 5 minutes as well before we go in to the final race of this evening. Hold on to your hats, it's going to be good. Even though we have got 10 drivers, I'm sure it's still going to be some absolute barnstorming racing, and get ready for it here as well. So hold on to your hats. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have only just joined us as well, let us know that you're here. Let us know what you're up to for Christmas. Let us know what your hopeful Santa brings you. Craig Jones is off and hopeful that he gets a new hairline, according to my children, this year as well. So bless him on that one. Hair growth not been good to Craig Jones, unfortunately, there as well. But hold on to your hats. Lights are going to be coming on. Just waiting for Mike Buisson is doing his traditionally late running and getting onto the grid before we get off and running now. So here we go. All the cars are onto the grid. Lights have come up on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Heat number 1 is green, green, green. Lucas Vieira gets away at the start. Does Mike Buisson. Oh! Luke Maxwell, Paul LeMay, Hammond are coming together. Paul's dropped all the way down the order now, but Lucas Vieira took the whole shot into turn number 2. Buisson tucks in right behind him. Maxwell going to be cause of that incident with Paul LeMay and is sitting in 3rd place. And you've got Eric Herman, Jamie Bird and John McHutchison. Not a good start for Paul LeMay on that one, Tom.
And it was initially started by a really poor getaway, which allowed Luke Maxwell to get alongside him on the inside, but LeMay just didn't quite leave enough room. And that explains why he's dropped all the way down to the back as Maxwell makes a mistake at Moss Corner and he loses further ground to the top 2 of Lucas Ferreira and Mike Buisson. John Hutchinson coming through the field very nicely up to 4th place. I think someone's just had a bit of a slowdown penalty further back there, unless he's in a fight, unless he's had damage actually, thinking of it.
Yeah, looks like him and Jamie Bird may have had a little bit of a tat-tat-tat. That might include Eric Harmon coming through into Moss here. Bird goes up the inside, he bounces the car into Harmon. McHutchison looks like he lost his front nose there, and it does end up going round. He has lost his front nose, he's in a bad state at the moment. Is John McHutchison going to be going into pit lane? Paul LeMay and Stefan Mellis climbing all over the back end of each other at this moment in time. LeMay's going to try and go through on the inside. Mellis is going to hold him side by side going into turn number 2. Paul's on the outside, very, very tough this corner as well. Does go and sweep around the outside. Paul LeMay absolutely flying. Great job, not the most easiest corner.
No, definitely not. And he had to carry the momentum all the way through 1 and 2 before they had to sum on the brakes for the next braking zone towards Moss Corner. So it was a fine overtake from Paul LeMay to go up into 5th place after a really terrible beginning. And has he got enough time to go after Even Bremer, Luke Maxwell? I think it's safe to say he definitely does have enough time. But for John Hutchinson, after the damage he's picked up, after the tangle with Jamie Bird, well, he's probably going to be going for a fastest lap at this rate.
Yeah, McHutchison sitting at the back, unfortunately, just coming through Moss now on board with Graham Matthews. Going to get that toe up into Eric Harmon. Is he going to be able to get the job done? And as it says currently, no. It's more likely to come from Harmon over the back end of Stefan Mellis. 1:12.352 from Mike Buisson. Quicker than Lucas Vieira last time out. You see the times going through on your screen now. And Eric Harmon into turn number 1. Through number 2 he goes, and at the moment closing in on Mellis. Closing in at a rate of knots after being involved in an incident at the beginning.
Yeah, definitely. So Harmon on the tail of Stefan Mellis as they approach turns 3 and 4 will be very, very shortly. But Eric Harmon still fighting it with Mellis on the approach to Moss Corner for the 3rd time in this first race of the evening. Vieira's lead is only less than a second, actually, 8/10 to be exact, over Mike Buisson, so he's not exactly pulling away. But you look at Luke Maxwell, who's another couple of seconds back. He's got some work to do, as is Even Bremer.
Yeah, they're all closing in as best as they possibly can. This is going to be Eric Harmon's move if he gets this done over Stefan Mellis. Is going to slot in right behind him. Is he going to try and take him on the outside of turn number 8? He isn't. Is he going to go up the inside? He's going to try. Mellis comes round, just shuts him off and says, nope, not this time. And as Mellis chases down Paul LeMay. I'm so offended. No, you're not, Craig Jones. Give over. You're not very offended at all. Lucas Vieira goes and sets fastest lap on a 1:12.1. He's on for the bonus point for the fastest lap at this moment in race number 1. McHutchison's trying to just stay in the field. He's driving along on his own at this moment. He will take pole if he stays where he is in race number 2. But it's all about Harmon and Mellis at the moment. Harmon closing in on Mellis. here, Tom, and doing a great job in the process.
Yeah, and on the Mario Andretti straightaway, where we expect to see a lot of the overtakes happening as well, it doesn't seem to be that Harman is making the most of the effect, so we may have thought at the beginning of tonight, as he goes through the apex of what is turn 6, the second part of Moss. And this is the Mario Andretti straightaway that I was just alluding to now. A long back straight before you get to a medium speed corner of turn number 8. And he's not going to be anywhere near close enough to have a go, is he?
No, not this time. I don't know if he's got quite the speed, to be honest with you, in that car, whether or not he's got damage on the car after that earlier incident. I think that's more looking like it that he has, but he is closing on Mellis. 1:11.9 from Vieira, 1:12.3 from Buson, 12:0 from Maxwell. So these guys racking up the times here, doing a great job in the process. Coming into turn number 2 is Eric Harman. Bounces over that bump in there as well, gets a run better than Mellis does through turn 2. He's going to look up the inside of 3. Not this doing at the moment. Is it the Andretti straightaway that we're going to find most of the overtakes here this evening?
Well, there is that, but also thinking about Moss Corner, if they can get a strong exit out of turn number 3, he might be able to just send it down the inside, but the problem is the track narrows as you hit the apex, so it's more risky to get overtakes done there compared to a lot of other circuits. But we saw what Paul LeMay did on the second lap, where he got by some drivers around that corner, particularly on the second lap, and he was able to do it. So I would expect to see maybe 1 or 2 more during the course of this evening to do exactly what LeMay did earlier.
Yeah, Harman's just got up the inside of Mellis. Mellis again says no, not this time. Closes the door through turn 9. They go, final corner. There's a very frustrated Eric Harman in that car, and there's a very highly defensive Stefan Mellis in front of him, providing all the action in race number 1. 14 minutes to go here. Harman's going to try a different line through 2. Opens it up. Mellis opens up the steering a little bit. Doesn't give him the inside. Mellis is driving exceedingly defensive at this moment in time.
Yeah, and it's losing him ground. You can see running wide there now. He has to concede the position to Harman, and Mellis is going to have to just play catch-up now and get back into a rhythm. But you can see that Harman's got a couple of seconds to make up on Paul LeMay, who is gradually closing on even Bremer. But the trouble is Bremer is losing ground on Maxwell, who is catching Buson.
Yeah, the gap down is 7 tenths up front, and that's coming down as well. They're not going to get into each other this lap around. Luke Maxwell and Buson, they are into turn number 8. This is Stefan Mellis closing in on Harman. Is he going to be able to get there again? He's not. Ewan Bremer is got Paul LeMay breathing down his neck. Luke Maxwell closing in on Buson. Time's coming in now, 1:11, 1:12 for Buson. He had a bad lap last time out.
Yeah, he's lost ground to Vieira. That's allowing Maxwell to close in. I don't know where Buson's weakness is at around this circuit, because it'll be good to know where exactly he is losing the time compared to where Maxwell is gaining the time, if that makes sense. So we'll see maybe on this lap to compare where exactly around the circuit. It might be sector 3. That's where Buson's losing the most time at.
Well, it looks like he's lost time in sectors 1 by about 8 thousandths of a second. Sector 2 is just on the entry into turn number 8, which is the long sweeping right-hander. And it's going to be up the road a little bit here. I expect this to be Maxwell's sector. That is going to be due to the draft here. They're coming into 8. There you go. It is Maxwell's sector by another tenth. It's almost 2 tenths he's brought back in from Buson this time around. Buson's looking a little bit raggedy. The man from Froome in Somerset is under pressure at the moment, and Maxwell's closing in on him, Tom, lap by lap.
Yeah, and this goes back to what I was saying. He's lost the most time in the last sector, did Buson, watching the gap come down the way it did. And it's allowing Vieira to shoot further and further up the distance, and Maxwell could well be within range to make an attack.
Yeah, going through turns 2, coming into 3. The right-hander is closed right in. You can see LeMay's got into Ewan Bremer in the background at the same time. So Paul LeMay and Ewan Bremer are going to be at each other all the way down through into turn 4. The right-hander uphill braking Through the right we go. Maxwell carries a little bit more speed than Buson does. Now going along Mario Andretti, and this is where we expect this to happen from Luke Maxwell. He's going to should get the job done over Mike Buson by the time they go into turn number 8. We're going to flip back to Paul LeMay after this because he looks like he's going to try and get the job done over Iwan Bremer. Buson, Maxwell can't get it done. What about Paul LeMay? The door's been left open. He's left the inside line for Iwan Bremer this time. He gets the job done. Luke Maxwell doesn't. Can't leave the door open like Iwan did there because you see, Paul just went straight through on him.
Yeah, Bremer made it the easiest overtake in the world for Paul LeMay to get by, and I was a little bit surprised he didn't just try and fight it out with him, because most realistically he's not in the battle involving those in the top 3. So I'm surprised he's not tried to make it harder for LeMay than he did.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. He'd been setting times round around the 1:11.9s he won Bremer this week. Unfortunately, best time at the moment 1:12.3. So not unfortunately on the pace he was doing earlier on. Maxwell still in behind Buson, 10 minutes to go for race number 1, and Maxwell's going to have to try again over him at the Andretti if he can.
It's a matter of time before Maxwell finds his way through on Buson. If he's going to win this first heat, then he's got to get by him sooner rather than later. And you just see pulling out of the slipstream is Maxwell. He's nowhere near alongside enough to go through at this moment in time, and Buson gets back onto the racing line before the apex, and so he lives to fight another day. But we've still got I'd probably say another 7 laps of this first race to go. So Maxwell doesn't have as much time as he'll want to get this overtake done, and he's looking to the outside, but no way through at this moment in time.
Yeah, no way through for Maxwell. He's now going to try on the outside of turn number 2. Scarlett, hello, I hope you're well. He's going to have a go here. Buson's going to send him around a long way at turn number 3. Buson's going to hug that inside line tighter than his favourite tractor. Off he goes now. Maxwell still in behind him under the Continental Breeze, dropping down into turn number 4. Buson in the black, red and white. Maxwell in the black and white in behind. Again, he's going to carry more speed than Buson. And again, Tom, this has got to be his opportunity.
Yeah, he needs a strong exit out of here, which I think he's managed to do better than last time, Luke Maxwell. And is he going to go to the inside? The inside is where he'll want to be. Buson will need to decide when to go defensive. He's going defensive now, and you can see Maxwell. Could he maybe do a dummy instead of going around the outside? It'll be very hard to do it around the outside. Luke Maxwell on Mike Buson, but Buson will have the high ground on the exit. Maxwell still keeps his foot in it, but has to yield.
Yeah, could not get the over done up into 9, unfortunately, there for Maxwell. He's going to have to go again. How are you doing, Scarlett? I'm doing very well, thank you so much. Ready for Christmas. Hope you are as well. All my Christmas shopping is done. No more for me. Done all me wrapping. Well, I've done the wife's wrapping. The wife's done everybody else's. With a mother-in-law who come round. They had a wrapping session, I guess we could call it, as they wrapped up everybody else's stuff in the household there as well. Maxwell trying again on that run out of 3, not being able to get it done under Continental. Down the hill they go, coming into the final corner of Moss uphill. Tight break in now. Again, he's got to try and get the run out. And again, he's got to try and make this happen. This just doesn't seem to be that Maxwell can quite get alongside enough of Buson on this.
Well, what does he decide to do now, Maxwell? Because he knows the outside probably isn't going to be the way to do it. He's got to try and surprise him one way or another. And you can see Buson tight on the inside. So Maxwell is reluctant to go to the outside, tucks back onto the racing line at the apex, and he's going to have to force Buson into a mistake somehow. And turn 8 may not be the place to do it at.
Yeah, not this time. It's the only place on the circuit that he's able to get close enough into turn 1. Buson in that inside line, Maxwell running it there as well. Now coming into turn 2, don't be on the outside. You've got to watch the bump on the inside. There it is. Drop down now into turn 3. You can see Maxwell's trying to get close enough coming into the apex. And around the right hander he goes now again here as well. Done all your shopping, that's great to hear on this one from Scarlett and YouTube. Under the bridge coming into turn 4. Through the double right-hander again. Maxwell carrying more speed once more. Buson trying to hold on. Maxwell, big slide. This attempt's done for this lap.
Yeah, so But don't think there's any traction control in these cars, hence why he had that little wheel spin on the exit. Pushing very, very hard is Luke Maxwell, but maybe a bit too hard for his own sake, and that's lost him crucial ground this time around. So Buson has got a little bit of a buffer for a lap or so, but Maxwell is running out of time to make this move work.
Yeah, coming just into the last 5 minutes. Got 4.5 minutes to go. Scarlett's looking to get into iRacing. Is there any cars that you're looking to drive, Scarlett? Is there anything that you think, you're excited about? There's enough going on, and we can point you in the right direction if you're looking for driving anything fun to go around there. I can tell you now, the SR8s are great fun to get themselves involved in if you want to. Free turn three. Maxwell again. Buson's on the gravel. He runs a little bit wide. Mike Buson gets out a little bit all wrong there. Now Maxwell's going to close back in. Buson's going to have dirty, grubby tyres for the last couple of corners. Maxwell's going to try again here. He's got to nestle in. He's got to get right in behind him and tuck in right behind Mike Buson once more. He's got to get this run out. And it doesn't look like he's able to get it. It just doesn't look like he's quite got the pace, if I'm honest, to try and carry this round the outside of turn 8, Tom. I think Buson's just got a bit of him.
Yeah, well, he's got a bit of him, but Maxwell essentially has got to really bump draft on the exit of Moss if he's going to get alongside and get his nose in front heading into turn 8. They're heading over the line now. Vieira, the new fastest up of the race as we speak. But this is the battle we want to be focused on. Mike Buson and Luke Maxwell for second place in heat number 1 this evening. And you can just see the manoeuvres. Buson go one way, Maxwell going the other. Buson just covering his line there. And you could just see Maxwell's taking a few different lines to sort of make Buson make a mistake, take a tighter line than normal to push him to a mistake somehow. But we'll see how they come out of turn number 6, and hopefully we'll see, Maxwell alongside more than what we saw in the previous laps. But is he going to be able to get a good exit? No, it's really poor.
Just unfortunately for Luke Maxwell, not quite able to carry the speed through Moss, which is what he needs to do. Closing in, there's Paul LeMay and Ewan Bramer behind him on that one. Eric Harmon in the background. Mellis, Bird, Matthews and McCutcheon. Maxwell pulls out again. Buson just covers him off once more. Kind of fan of the McLaren, so definitely going to try the MP4 12C GT3. Nice on that one. That should be fun for you as well. They have just replaced the old McLaren, if I'm not mistaken, for a new one. What is the new one? It's the 720S. GT3 Evo, so that has now replaced the 12, and you can go, the 720 is out for buying on that one. Maxwell harassing Buson getting a bit of a rear end slide coming through turn 3, dropping down the hill once more. Maxwell sitting in right behind him up the hill, braking through the right-hander. Through the next right-hander they go. He's got a little bit more of a run this time, Tom.
No, it's not the best exit either. It's better than last time, where he went a little too deep, but this is not the closest we've seen from Luke Maxwell, so I don't expect any change in position this time around as they go along the Mario Andretti straightaway. And he might... he's going to have to go to the outside, isn't it? There's just not enough room on the inside to make a dummy. Yeah,
the problem is Buson keeps covering him off. There's not enough room because Buson's closing the inside line, forcing Maxwell to go round the outside of 8. Now, the only way you're going to be down there is if you're big and brave and being able to send it. It's going to be very, very difficult indeed. And I think that's the thing for these guys to be able to do that. Maxwell's got to carry a lot more speed through, and he's just not able to quite do it. That's looking back from the back end of Buson into turn 3. GT3 Evo would be cool. Yep, definitely a cool car. Well worth having a go at. Vieira's going to come through the right-hander. We're going to have a 17-lap race on this one. He's going to take the white flag. Maxwell coming in. Buson got 4 out of 4.
Yeah, he got very... well, he went a little too deep into 5, really, and I thought Maxwell was going to be right at the gearbox on the exit, but it looks like Buson just about is going to hold on this time around, but Maxwell's got one more chance before the checkered flag.
Yeah, he's going to try that outside line again through 8. He's got to run it round. It's not. Vieira's going to come over the line, taking the white flag. There's Barney on the gantry. It is the white flag lap. Patrick Vieira just dominated from green to checkered on that one. You guys have familiar accents. We're both from the UK, Scarlett, on that one. So I think we're going to have fairly similar. It depends on where in the country we actually are, is the only difference. And to be honest, unless you're from some mad places like Newcastle or Liverpool, they all really sound the same, to be honest with you. So, yeah, that's where we're from as well on that one. So, Maxwell's still coming in behind. I just don't think he's going to be able to get there. I've got a funny feeling Boussaint's just covering him off into 8 all the time.
Right, this needs to be Maxwell.
Got it wrong.
Yeah, well, he had to give it a go, James. He had to try something different compared to the previous laps, and that's allowed Paul LeMay to take the final podium position away.
Yeah, Maxwell got it all wrong. Final lap going into 8. Lucas Vieira is going to come over the line. Boussaint's going to survive in for second place. Paul LeMay in third. And then Lucas Vieira got the fastest lap as well, but he comes over the line. He takes a victory in race number 1. Mike Boussaint survived the onslaught from Paul LeMay. Comes over in race number 2 in second. Paul LeMay got third. Maxwell going to be disappointed with his 4th place. Then we've got Ewan Bramer, Eric Harmon, Stefan Mellis and Jamie Bird not far apart further back. And then Graham Matthews is going to be on the front row with John McCutcheon in behind him and there as well. I'm from Manchester. Nice. I'm from right the way down south. Scarlett on that one. Tom, where are you?
I'm based in West Yorkshire.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So Tom's from up north, I'm from down south. Right, before we bring you up the results, I'm just going to make the grid go to 5 minutes countdown so they're all aware. Right, here are the results of heat number 1. Oh, hello. We try that one again. There you go. Lucas Vieira is your winner with Mike Boussaint in second, Paul LeMay in third. Then you got Luke Maxwell in fourth, Ewan Bramer come over the line in fifth, then Eric Harmon, Stefan Mellis, Jamie Bird, Graham Matthews, and then John McCutcheon, who will take pole for race number 2. Not quite the banger we were expecting there, Tom. I think a lot of it had the incident together when they come together in race number 1.
Well, we saw the incidents at the beginning, and it was recovery time really for Paul LeMay and John McCutcheon, who had to settle for last position, which has put him on the reverse grid pole for heat number 2. But let's see what race number 2 can bring, because those that finish further down the order have a chance to show what they are really, really made of around this particular course.
Yeah, let's bring you up the grid for race number 2. We can do that. John McCutcheon will be on pole alongside Graham Matthews. Then you've got Jamie Bird, Stefan Mellis in third and fourth. Then Eric Harmon, Ewan Bramer, Luke Maxwell, Paul LeMay, Mike Boussaint, Lucas Vieira. If this stays as it is, it really is kind of sitting that it's going to be John McCutcheon's win, right?
Well, you would think so, but he's got to make sure he gets off the line sweetly, which someone like Paul LeMay wasn't able to do so.
Well, yeah, this is also true on that one. Scarlett's not got an iRacing account yet, so I would probably suggest, Scarlett, that if you do get an iRacing account, you're going to go into the wonderful world of rookies and MX-5s. That will be exciting for you, let's put it this way, as there's a lot of random things taking place in rookies and MX-5s. And then I would probably look to join a league where you can practice with some of the faster guys and get used to the tracks and the cars and pick a car. Basically, iRacing has got pathways, and what that basically means is depending on the cars that you pick at the beginning of your journey, because obviously it's paid content, will reflect on the cars that you drive earlier on. So if you want to go for open wheelers, you're going to start off in the Formula V, then the Formula 4 or Formula 3, then you've just Super Formulas and the Super Formula Lights. Super Formula Lights first, and then the Super Formulas, and then you've got the big boys, the F1 cars. Or if you're going to go down sports car, you've got the MX-5s, then you've got the Ferrari GT3s, then you can get yourselves into the GT4s if you really wanted to, and go back to the big boy GT3s once you've got a little bit more practice. Then you've got the radical SR8s that you can go into LP2s. it can be it can be an open web of different things. The rookies were traumatic. They were as well. The biggest advice I had in rookies was either start from pit lane or get on pole. If you didn't get on pole, start in pit lane. That's generally the philosophy, Tom, for that one.
Well, we know from our experience with Mazda MX-5. I mean, I've not raced Mazda MX-5s, but we've seen the true racing of that. It's a good learning ground actually for Scarlett to get into, thinking of it, because the racing it produces is underrated, as I would describe it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. MX-5s are great there as well. I usually been busy with work, so obviously wouldn't play it much. But yeah, going to get it. Scarlett, to be honest, I only have it because obviously I work on it. I started off as a driver, but now I barely drive as much on that one. So there you go. MX-5s is pure carnage. Colour zooming is not pure carnage. Not always, don't get me wrong. The UK sim racers have produced some very interesting cars on their roof action, Tom, haven't they? We've seen it last season.
Well, we've seen some crazy things across Mazda MX-5s, given all the racing we've had this season as well. It's been that sort of year, hasn't it? Just waiting for the remainder of the field to get onto the grid. I think we're waiting for Hutchinson, Maxwell and Vieira to get onto the grid. And I wonder how this second race is going to play out then, because what will the drivers be thinking at this moment in time? What are going to be their aims for the end of this second race?
Well, John McHutchinson is going to be running straight and try and get green to checkered. Maxwell, Vieira, Buson, LeMay are all going to be trying to come through the field. Constantly getting abused in multi-class. Well, that's why you generally don't run MX-5s. Zamzi in multi-class, it does get a little bit chaotic in the production car cup, of course, and I think that's what they're still calling it, with the replacement of the Mustang for the BMW GT4, I believe, has replaced it this season. We're just waiting for Lucas Vieira. He is going to jump on into the back end. If not, well, he isn't. It's going to be John McHutchinson on the grid. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. This should be Muck Hutchinson's race, and it is green there as well. Then he gets away right at the beginning. Jamie Bird gets over to the top of Graham Matthews, and now it's Bird going to set loose on everybody else. And unfortunately for Graham Matthews, that start where he was in second, it's just kind of all gone out the window. He's kind of allowed them all through.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's picked up an issue or really just generously allowed them all through, and he didn't want to get caught up in any first lap mayhem. But looks like a missed opportunity there for Graham Matthews, from what I saw. But Jamie Bird doing what he needed to do to get into second place. Seth Mellis up there in third. Luke Maxwell up a couple of positions already, albeit is back behind Even Bremer as we speak, as they go through Moss Corner for the first time. Lucas Ferreira has joined the race, albeit he's a bit further behind, but hopefully it won't be too long before he gets onto the rear of this.
Yeah, we've got Paul LeMay, Buson, Maxwell, Bremer, Harmon, Mellis, Bird, all in this queue. This is Buson here. What's going to happen? These guys coming into turn number 8. You can see Maxwell on the defense. LeMay trying to go around the outside. Bremer trying to get on to the back of Harmon. Harmon trying to get on to the back of Mellis at this moment. And Mellis, being the cork in the bottle, is going to drive defensively. He's going to make these guys work. Bird getting onto the back of McHutchinson, and it is all nose to tail. Matthews in the pit lane. Maybe he did have an issue there, Tom, and has gone into pit lane.
It's a shame. It's a shame because he had a golden opportunity to try and tussle it out with the big guns, but it's all unravelled for him with only 1 lap done. Eric Harmon on the tail of Stefan Millis for third position, but don't expect it to be too long before we see the likes of Maxwell and LeMay and Buson and Vieira to get into the action here. Is Harmon thinking about a move into Moss? You can see Mellis going offline slightly to defend. Can Harmon get a strong exit out of 6 and make a move into 8, where we've not seen too many overtakes happen through there, but can Harmon prove everyone wrong?
Yeah, Harmon in behind Stefan Mellis. He's going to look at trying to get up the inside. Mellis should take the inside line, which is what he does. He forces Harmon to go round the outside. He gets the job done over Mellis, so mind you. Now it's going to be Maxwell in behind LeMay. LeMay's got Bremer and Buson in and around him as well. LeMay in the blue, red, yellow. Maxwell in the black and white. And now it's all going to be very, very chaotic, and it's going to kick off here with Mike Buson in the back of this.
Yeah, well, Buson will be just staring at the rear of these cars. I mean, we had 17 laps of action in the first race. Buson won't want to hang around for too long before he has to get some overtakes done. Hutchinson only 7 tenths clear of Jamie Bird so far, so not exactly pulling away yet, but Maxwell has got 3 on Bremer, and that's because of a mistake.
Yeah, Bremer made a mistake. He ran wide, unfortunately. Maxwell's on that inside line there. Is he on Bremer? Are they going to start trying to go too wide round turn 4? No. He does allow him to take the thing. But Bremer's off the side of the circuit. That's going to free up Paul LeMay, who's going to make that overtake. Now we've got Mike Buson coming in as well. There is Ewan Bremer. Is Buson going to be able to get around the outside of turn 8? He's got to run it in deep if he can. Here we go. He's going to try and sweep around the outside. Can he hold it into 9? He needs that inside line. Bremer's giving him the inside line. He's now got to run it round. Oh, Buson. He got too much of a great exit out of 9.
Yeah, he got too close there. Had to ease off the throttle a little just to make sure the car kept points in the right way. And we've seen Maxwell close in on Mellis as we speak there. Mellis will have to go into the defensive mode in a moment. You can see Ferreira just slowly catching up to the rear of the field. That last lap that he posted was over a second faster than the 2 drivers in front of him, of Bremer and Buson. So it won't be too long, I think, before we see some action involving him. But meanwhile, here's Maxwell on Mellis, and now we're looking at Bird right behind Hutchinson. He's got the gap down, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's brought the gap down quite a lot here for Jamie Bird. Let's see if he's going to be able to get that in. You can see he's 3 tenths quicker over lap 3. Closing in up the Andretti straight. We've got 16 minutes on the clock. Bird not being able to make it through this time. What about Maxwell? He's going to try that outside run past Stefan Mellis. He is going to get it done. And no reply from Mellis there. Not a lot he was able to do about that one. Maxwell's going to do it. I think Paul LeMay's kind of looking to go and have a go at it as well. And unfortunately for Mellis, he could end up dropping back. Buson has made another error there. Unfortunately for Mike Buson. Into turn 4. Oh. And he gets it all a little bit wrong and runs off the side of the circuit, loses bucket loads of time as well. Callum Ramsey, I'm a professional warehouse worker in London. Oh, Mellis has gone. Oh, ouch. Don't know if there was a lot Paul LeMay knew about that. No.
He got on the grass. Mellis got on the grass, which caused that spin. And Paul LeMay just had nowhere to go.
Wow. That looked spectacular. Round the corner he goes, and then he just travels up. Stefan Mellis, bang. Wow. Good job this is simulated there, Tom. That could have hurt if that was real life.
Well, he could have gone over the barrier if that was in real life there, but thankfully he didn't go over the barrier. Paul LeMay, without a front bumper, that'll be him off into the pit lane and effectively his race done.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Paul LeMay, is he going to go into the pits? He is. We can see up his skirt on that one. Unfortunately for LeMay, you can see a little bit of his feet and everything. And now Jamie Bird is trying to get on. I do digital work. I do work for digital artists in Manchester. Is that adding auto-tune, Scarlett? Is that what we're talking about? Auto-tune? Or are we talking about something else? Let me know on that one. Bird closing in on McHutchinson there. LeMay is in and out of pit lane. So he's come in and gone back out again. Bird closing in, but is he just going to be able to wave that dirty air and get him right in between them?
Well, he'll be looming all over the gearbox. I mean, we saw it in the first race where we saw Mike Buson fending off Luke Maxwell all this time, and I think Bird, I don't know whether he saw any of that action, he probably didn't, but now he's thinking about a move on Hutchinson this time around. He's got to figure out where Hutchinson's weaknesses are if he is to get the overtake completed, because I can imagine the amount of weaknesses that Hutchinson will have will be very, very few.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're trying to find a weakness on the man that drives SR8s and SR10s pretty much daily. not going to be the most easiest thing to find here, and John doing an absolute stellar job. Not going to say Jamie's not going to get there as well, but it's going to be interesting for the next 12 minutes coming up on that. I do work for digital medium. Okay, you're going to have to explain that one, Scarlett, because I'm old and I have no idea what that means. Tom, digital medium?
That's something that's come across to me before, thinking of it. Not to a great extent, but I might look into it myself, actually, because that name does ring a bell to my mind.
Right, okay. If you don't mind that, can I show you some of my previous projects of which I've worked? Well, not right now, Scarlett, because obviously I'm sat here commentating on a race, so we can't actually see anything anyway, and the guys in YouTube won't see anything anyway, and we don't allow links being posted. But if you want to hit me up on Discord, you can, and we can have a chat and see what your digital medium work goes in or involves in. There should be a Discord link down in the description below. If there isn't, let me know and I will give you one. I'm pretty sure there's one there. But yeah, not obviously right now, Scarlett, because I'm in the middle of a race with Jamie Bird closing in on John McHutchinson here. Just not going to be able to get quite close enough, I don't feel, on this lap.
At least we're seeing a race, James, because we thought McHutchinson was going to drive off away from the rest, but Bird is keeping him in sight and making a race of it.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a Discord link. Oh, no, it's not. What does that do that for? Let me see if I can get another one. See if that will come up with a link. Will it come up with a link? No. What's it doing? I'll get you a Discord link, and you can hit me up on that one. You can give me a shout and talk to me about what you are meaning, Scarlett. So there we go. That would be cool.
Well, you can see Bird is on the tail of Matt Hudson as they come around to complete the 8th lap, approaching the halfway point in this second race of tonight. And Matt Hudson is given, well, he's not going to be sitting there comfortably by any means, despite the fact he's just posted a personal best lap of the race. Not the fastest, but a personal best lap of the race. Looking to see who's got the fastest lap right now, James. And that's the driver in 3rd place. Eric Harmon holds the fastest lap. And can he use that to his advantage and close in on the top 2?
Yeah. Sure, he's going to be trying to here. Eric Harmon, 1.8 seconds back. He has got Luke Maxwell closing in on him. Paul LeMay has closed right up into Graham Matthews. I don't think that's going to be much for Graham Matthews to try and defend against here. I think Paul's just going to go and fly straight past him at this moment in time. And there you go, Paul goes right up the inside. Job done.
Oh, does he?
Oh, no, Matthews does defend.
Well, it looks like he just was about to allow him through, but then decided to take the fight to him and just make him work for it there, which you can't really blame Graham Matthews for, because what's the point in racing if you're not going to defend at all? So we need...
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, you know, that is it at the end of the day. And Paul LeMay is going to be loving this and isn't going to want to be fighting it out.
So we'll see whether Paul LeMay does decide to go to the outside. We've seen a couple of overtakes on Stefan Mellish around the outside of turn 8. Will Paul LeMay do it on Graham Matthews? My prediction is that he is going to, but will Matthews leave the door open? He makes him go to the outside, but contact made, and LeMay had to almost run wide, but somehow he gets the overtake still done. That was a little bit too much there from Graham Matthews, and somehow he's able to retain the position.
Yeah. Is he going to be able to hold on through the outside of turn 1, though? Paul LeMay is going to go round there. There you go. Is he going to get the run out of turn 2? He's pushed Graham Matthews onto that outside line. Got it done, finally.
Yeah, no, it was, from the moment he got alongside on the exit of 1, he knew he was going to have the high ground into 2, so that was a contest over.
Yeah, all done and dusted on that one. Just sorting rows for you, LJ, so you can see the schedule for this season. I can tell you what we've got coming up. Suzuka on the 6th of January, then Kota, Zolder, Zandvoort, Watkins Glen, Interlagos, and finishing on at Le Mans. So that will be the schedule for this series. I have just tagged you in the Discord on that one. Scarlett, I have seen you join the Discord. Thank you so much. Reach out to me and we can have a chat as these guys continue to fight there. John McCutcheon slowly closing in and trying to get onto the back of, well, trying to stay in front, I should say, of Jamie Bird.
Towards the end of the previous lap, James, John Hutchinson had a big slide out of 8 and it allowed Bird to close in. And he did not take turn 6 as sweetly as he would want to have done. And this is the closest Jamie Bird has come all race to taking the lead here.
Yeah, Bird pushing on now. Is he going to be able to close back in through the right-hander or the kink of the turn coming into turn number 8? Bird's going to go around the outside. McCutcheson's not going to make it easy for him. Nope, there you go. Bird backs away and decides to get the run in through turn 9, coming into 10 again. Bird making it's hard for John McCutcheon, pressurising him, putting him under pressure constantly. Yeah,
well, McCutcheson's been able to gather it all up and knock Jamie Bird's momentum a little bit. But you can see that they're still fighting. Bird looking one way and then another just to force McCutcheon into a mistake. But it's not often we've seen McCutcheon make a mistake. And I think this has probably been a tougher race than he could have imagined, really, McCutcheon. And you look at these two, and Eric Harman, well, he'll be waiting to pick up the pieces, really, in case these two come together.
Yeah. We'll be looking to have a go if he can. Luke Maxwell closing in, though. Harman's going to be under pressure. Matthews has not dropped away from LeMay, but he's just lost it. Well, he's lost a little bit of time going forward. But you can see these four could end up making it a four-way fight coming into near enough the last 5 minutes. This is where Maxwell's going to close in. He's going to bring that gap down 5 tenths at the moment. Gets below 4 and it comes down at a rapid rate of knots. And that is what Jamie Bird has done here. Got the gap back down again and now closing back all over him.
Well, Bird is on the tail of Matt Hudson once more. He will stay glued to him all the way to turn number 5 at Moss Corner. And is he going to be thinking? What will he be thinking now with about 5 laps to go? Is he thinking turn 8's the place to do it, or is he just going to have to try a few dummies just to make that odd mistake, and that'll be enough to take victory in this second race of tonight?
Well, he's got to try and stay with him. He's got to stay with him through the main part of the circuit. Yeah, that's the thing. He's got to stay with him through 2, 3, even through 4 to get the run up here, up Andretti. If he doesn't stay with him, he climbs close enough, shall we say, and does it every single time, but he needs to do it through the rest of the lap so he doesn't have to try and fight and get closer here on a lap. Do you see what I mean? He gets close enough on the Andretti, but then he loses it through the rest of the circuit, and that's not helpful. He needs to be closer all the way through.
Well, he needs to be on the tail, but it's that turbulent air that he'll be stuck behind, which, you know, when you're that close behind, you just don't know. It's just that odd twitch from the from the car ahead, which then could make you take an evasive action and lose time that way. And we've seen it already in this race with the incident involving Stefan Millis and Paul LeMay. Hopefully that doesn't happen to Jamie Bird and John Hutchinson. You can just see Luke Maxwell on the tail of Eric Harman. The battle for third place is coming alive once more. And you can see Maxwell doing his best to get through on Harman. But you can see that Harman is proving to be a more difficult driver to pass than some may have realised. And Maxwell looking to the outside through to turn number 4, the kink before Moss Corner. And there's just no way through yet.
Yeah, through turn 4 he goes. This is where he needs to stay close enough. And he has got a decent run out here for Luke Maxwell. Can he get over the top of Harman? He's close enough this time around. There he is. There is the machine of Eric Harman. He's going to pull out. Oh, Harman gives him the inside.
Why is he doing that? Why is he allowing him the inside before they go into turn 8? I don't understand why he's done that there, Eric Harman. He's just allowed Maxwell to go past.
Yeah, that's unusual.
I don't understand why he's done that. I really, really don't. I'm surprised he's not made him go the long way round the outside. He's probably thought, well, I've lost all the momentum, I'm probably going to get past anyway. But he should have made it more difficult for Maxwell.
Yeah. Why did he cover up the inside thing? That's what I don't quite understand. Why didn't he cover up the inside and make him work? Why give him that line? I think that's the problem.
Well, we'll leave that for those to answer. You might be able to chat with us about that later on if we do decide to interview him. But we've got a battle. Well, he's still in the battle for third place anyways, Harmon. He'll be thinking, if he could just get back through on Maxwell in the closest stages, I might just do it. But Maxwell will be wary of his mistake he made in race number 1, which cost him the final podium position to Paul LeMay. And we've got the battle for the lead still going on, although Bird has dropped back a little bit and is trying to get back onto the gearbox of Matt Hutchison as they are looking to start what will be the penultimate lap of the race. Matt Hutchison doing his best to hold on and all his worth, doing a fine job, but Bird is running out of chances to really make this work for him here.
This is the vital part of the circuit for Jamie Bird. He needs to stay closer now at this point, and it just doesn't look like he can quite carry that round the rest of the lap. He uses Andretti to get it down to 2-3 temps, and then it just all goes wrong over sectors 1 and 2, and he pushes out to 7 temps at the moment like he is, and then he comes down again. I think Maxwell might survive. This is going to be a very, very close to the final lap. It's going to be about 20 seconds to do it. But I think these guys should get one more lap in here. And again, see, he gets it down to 5 temps, closes up into the final corner, and then just unfortunately can't make it work.
No, he's too far back to do it, is Bird. And like you say, the first sector is where he really, really has to nail so that he can get a good drive out of 6 before he can get onto the rear and make Hudson defend. And you never know what could happen through 9 and 10 before the checkered flag. The drivers are coming around now and the white flag will be waved.
Yeah, McHutchison takes the final lap. The white flag is done. Bird closing in now. Is he going to be able to get close enough? Eric Harmon still in behind Maxwell. Buson closing in on Bramer. We're going to have 3 battles over the final lap. Leading one going round turn 2 and turn 3. Into 3 they go. At the other side, I don't think Bird's going to be close enough here, Tom.
No, he's had a really poor first sector as Bird. He's dropped back. It was around about half a second at the beginning of the lap. It's already 7 tenths. So I think the battle for the win is all but done. The same for the battle for 3rd place. And the battle for 5th is still on, though, between Bremer and Buson.
Yeah, these guys fighting further back. They're going to come into your picture. Might just come into your picture. They did just about. But Bird's going to close it up. But I think it's going to be John McHutchinson is going to take the victory in race number 2. With Bird in 2nd place. Maxwell is going to take 3rd. Harmon in 4th. But John McHutchinson comes over the line. He gets this victory for race number 2. Great job from him. It looks like Mike Buson's made a mistake on the final lap. That's brought Lucas Vieira right up behind him here as well. Top 5 reverse, don't forget. So Bramer's going to be on pole position for race number 3. What did you do, Mike Buson?
He made a mistake at 6, I think, James, and you could see it was all over the rear
4.
there.
He's done it again in Moss.
Yeah.
Same thing he did in race 1. Exactly the same thing he did in race number 1. So Stefan Mellis now comes over the line as well. Paul LeMay in 9th place. Bit of a rotten race number 2 with Graham Matthews coming over, who has got no front end. And I've got a funny feeling this could be the reason why. Yep. Boink. And off goes his nose cone for Graham Matthews.
So is it safe to say we've seen a little bit more in this second race, James? Because we've seen a few battles here and there. We've seen a few mistakes being made. We've got Bremer, who is on reverse grid pole for race number 3 ahead of Eric Harmon. And Lucas Vieira coming through the field as well. It'll let you run down the race results.
John McHutchison takes the victory. Jamie Bird in 2nd and Luke Maxwell 3rd. Then you got Eric Harmon, Iman Bramer, Mike Buson, Lucas Vieira, Stefan Mellis, Paul LeMay and Graham Matthews rounding out the top 10 on that. So great job from all of these guys. We have got a brief 5-minute warm-up, so if you haven't got a drink, go and get one. Sit back, chill out and relax. I don't expect anybody to go out onto the racetrack. They're all just going to sit there and chill, probably. Race 3 is going to be interesting. Bramer's going to be on pole. Top 5 reverse for race number 3. Could be the best one of the evening.
It could be, and it'll send a message as to who can make the best of starts as well. You don't want to be tangled up in any first corner mayhem and, well, any form of mistake throughout the race, it has to be said. But I think it shows that overtaking round this course has proven to be a little tricky than anticipated.
Yeah. I think Turn 8 hasn't quite delivered as much as what I expected them. I think they expected them to be able to do as well. So I'm going to have the final race of the evening, 25-lap feature. 25 laps? That's not right. 25-minute feature. So they're going to do about 3 or 4 more laps than the 16 that they've done all evening. So I expect them to do round about 19, possibly 20 laps here on this race circuit. I do like Mosport. I think Mosport as a racetrack's really well. I've driven V8s around here, or Gen 2 V8s. We're now on 3, of course. You know, it is a very fast-flowing track, and it does give these guys quite a different kind of racing from what we had at Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, I would say so as well. They'll be very familiar with a lot of the racetracks they go to across all the championships they've competed in, as far as iRacing is concerned. And you have to say, this section of turn 5 and 6 has seen the most mistakes being made at. We've seen drivers pushing a little bit too much. I don't know if it's because of the gradient that really catches you out as you hit the brakes and trying to hit the apex. But when you go up the hill, you've got to be a little bit braver because the car slows down naturally anyway when you go uphill. Whereas if you go downhill, you're having to be on the brakes a little bit sooner so that the car doesn't roll off the circuit.
Turn 4 is the most important one. They've got to carry out a Moss. If they don't carry out a Moss, it can go all a little bit Pete Tong. So they have to carry that speed round that corner to get that run out of Andretti. And I think John McHutchison being in 5th place, Lucas Vieira just being in and around him. The faster guys are kind of all the way up through the grid here for race number 3, and not just at the back end as such.
Well, it doesn't matter where you are on the grid, in my honest opinion, just as long as you get a decent start from where you are at, and you're essentially right in the mix. I'm sure Lucas Vieira, who didn't take the start as he came through from the pit lane to 7th position, you know, the race winner of race 2, John McHutchison, is only a couple of positions ahead of him. So Vieira has it all to really gain from where he is at.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. Do you know what? I'm going to change the subject for a minute here. I've just been sent a message with the 2025 driver lineup. I don't know if anybody's seen it for F1. I've just got to say, wow. There is a lot of fresh talent in this season. Alongside some of the old guard, so I'm quite looking forward to next season's F1. It could be quite interesting indeed. I don't know if anybody has seen the lineup. If you haven't seen the lineup, I'll post it in the JPB Discord in general chat very, very shortly, so you can have a look and see the 2025 driver lineup for F1. Going to be exciting indeed.
Well, there was an entry list put out before the news of Perez's departure from Red Bull. So, and Liam Lawson's in that seat now, for your information, with the drive at VCAR being filled by Isaac Hadjar, who was runner-up in Formula 2 this year.
Yeah, I've just posted it in the JPB Discord, so if you are in the Discord, you can have a look in general chat, and you can see the F1 2025 driver lineup. Should be excited indeed. So there we go. Right, coming to the end of warm-up before we get into gridding and see how they get on for the 25 minutes. What do you think is going to happen in race number 3?
Oh, good question. Well, Luke Maxwell is up there on the front row now, I believe. He's in. Well, no, he's not actually. He finished 3rd in the second race, didn't he? Which means he'll start 3rd in the. I was just thinking of Eric Harmon, that's all, because he was battling with Eric Harmon for a long period. So Eric Harmon will be on the front row next to. I'm getting my numbers mixed up now with all the reverse grid stuff. It's even Bremer on pole, is what I was trying to say, with Eric Harmon alongside. You can see the drivers making their way onto the grid, James. I'll let you run down on the grid itself.
Yeah, I'll bring you up the grid very, very shortly for race number 3. Iwan Bremer in 1st, Eric Harmon, Luke Maxwell Jamie Bird, John McCutcheon, Mike Buson, Lucas Vieira, Stefan Mellis, Paula May, and Graham Matthews is at the back end. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, because this is going to be very, very interesting indeed. Good mix of faster drivers in and around the whole of the grid. As these guys are now all on. The lights are going to be coming on. Iwan Bramer on pole for race number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we are green, green, green. Iwan Bramer gets off the line. Eric Harmon also gets a great start. He's going to get over him going into turn 1. Harmon takes the hold shot. Then Iwan Bramer sitting in behind him. John McCutcheon, Luke Maxwell, Mike Buson, Jamie Bird, Lucas Vieira in there as well. Paula May, Mellis and Matthews at the back end. But a great start from Eric Harmon.
Yeah, very, very fine start from Harmon. Just fending off from Bremer at turn 1, taking the inside line for good measure, and he'll be able to get a chance to pull away, but I don't expect him to pull away given how quick of a grid we are seeing trying to make their way through. And this is through Moss Corner. I don't think we are seeing any mistakes through here. Everyone's in single file, no problem. But Harmon is trying to bridge out the gap as they all come down the Andretti Straight for the first time.
Yeah, my little fear now is whether or not we're going to have this draft train for the next 25 minutes as everybody looks to close in on everybody else at this moment, but they're all running literally nose to tail. Harmon is there and he has got Bramer, who we're on board with. McCutcheon couldn't get near Bramer. Maxwell couldn't get near McCutcheon either. Gainers and losers overlap number 1. John McCutcheon up 2, Buson up 1. Bird down 2 with Paula May up 1 as well. So very, very interesting indeed. But I do worry about this little draft train.
Well, if it ends up being in possession, then it'd be a huge shame. But I don't think it will be, James. I expect some drivers to find their way through. You can just see Harmon taking a wider line through turn 3, which almost gave Bremer a little bit of a sniff out of there. But hopefully he'll be able to go up and just keep going as he is. And so they're going through Moss Corner again. And Bremer not exactly going for it just yet, but we've got a long way to go.
Yeah, but this is, you can see they're all spread enough that you could end up seeing the draft effect. You can see Harmon, Bramer can't get near him, McCutcheon can't get near him, Maxwell, Buson, Bird, even down to Lucas Vieira, they can't come up close with anything. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, Vieira's running in P7 right now. The winner of race 1 is not exactly setting fireworks with the way he's trying to come through the field at the moment, but there's no point in rushing things right now. He's got Jamie Bird right in front of him, who is not going to be an easy man to pass by any stretch. But you can just see it feels like everyone's taking almost the same line as each other. It just feels comprehensible, if that's a word.
It is, but I'm not quite sure it's used in that context.
But it's just the lines that each of the drivers are taking, James. It looks almost invariably
the same.
What's the word I'm on? Yeah, it almost looks almost invariably the same, yeah.
Don't overcomplicate yourself, Tom. You give yourself a headache if you're trying to think of flash words at this time of the evening. Is Steve McCutcheon trying to run round the outside of Bramer. Bramer's still got that draft off Harmon. That is saving him. McCutcheon's going to go. Harmon brings the draft over to Bramer. Over to McCutcheon. I can tell you one thing, Bramer's not going to be chuffed about that. And he does go through McCutcheon. So John McCutcheon up 1 place there. Bramer had the draft and then Harmon switched it over on him.
Well, that's the thing. If you got one car ahead of you that just takes a different line to what you're doing, you're then essentially losing speed. And that's allowing the car behind you to have the advantage entering the corner around the outside. And I think that's what McCutcheon has exploited.
Yeah, that was more than a decent overtake. It was. He was helped from the draft being brought across him. You can see Buson and Maxwell. Vieira's just followed him. Oh, tunnel vision. Paul LeMay goes through. And Vieira had tunnel vision on the back of Maxwell there and literally just nearly followed him into the gravel.
Yeah, well, Maxwell made a really poor error. I don't know who it was that he was battling with, but he ran out so far out wide. Lucky not to spin the car around, which was seen before this evening. And now he's having to just settle down in 8th position ahead of Stefan Millis and Graham Matthews, who's dropped back from this whole group. I've been doing a fine job so far, it has to be said.
Yeah, he is. He's out in front. And he's trying his hardest here to keep on. And doing a great job. Bramer's in there with Buson, with Bird. Buson gets a better run than Bramer. Oh, Mike. Oh, no, not into turn 1. Buson's going to have the inside line. Bramer's going to give him room. Is he going to give him enough room? He is. Is Buson going to give him room on the exit? He does. Buson now switches around the outside. Bramer has no response. Bird trying to comes into this as well. Brave move from Mike Buson, trying to get that done, because that could have been a lot worse for them.
And that was contributed by a mistake from Bremer on the exit of the last turn, and that allowed Buson to have a speed advantage down the pit straight and the inside line into turn number 1, of which Bremer was not going to have a response to.
Yeah, he had nothing over that one. He's just got to follow him now and try and get onto the back of this one. And you can see Jamie Bird locked in behind Bremer, and see what he is going to be able to do here. Is Bird going to get Bramer going into 8? What's Bramer going to do? He ain't surely going to leave the door wide open. No, Bird goes through. Bird is going to go past, says Callo in YouTube chat there. Soon, he's put on the end of it. Called it back just a little bit on that one. So, Bird and Bramer battling it out. What do you reckon? Bird going to go through?
Yeah, he will do eventually, because Bremer is not having the best time of it. He's not feeling confident in that machine as we speak. Hutchinson has posted a new fastest up of the race. We're looking at Bird, who is looking to get a pass done on Ivan Bremer in the near future. He's going for it into turn 3, thinks about it, forces Bremer into an error, and once again Bremer cracking under pressure a little bit, and that's allowing Bird to get alongside. Paul LeMay's waiting in the wings as well. Is he going to send it into turns 5 and 6? Bird on the inside of Bremer. He's done it. Very nicely done there. Pushing Bremer into a mistake. And Vieira barging LeMay out the way to snatch 6th position.
Yeah, Vieira made the most of the fact that they were fighting. Maxwell's now in there as well. Callo as well. Woohoo! Yes, you were right. There's McHutchison closing in on Harmon. This battle's going to come alive soon as well. Buson's the only man out, not in a battle. Bird coming through, Bramer in the mix, all right the way down to Luke Maxwell. Mellis and Matthews just dropped off a little bit, but these literal top 8 are fighting it out here and producing some great racing. Can Harmon hold on to the lead though, with McHutchison tucked in behind him?
Well, he's responding well, because he's posted the new fastest up of the race ahead of Matt Hutchison. Buson 3rd, Bird ahead of Bremer, and it's not going to be too long before Vieira decides to have a go in the near future. Harmon holding Matt Hutchison back. Hutchison will be thinking about the championship at this early stage of the season. We've got a couple of weeks before the next round at Suzuka anyway, but Matt Hutchison will just want to make sure he has a clean slate before the next race to come at Suzuka in a fortnight's time. But back to the battle we are seeing. Harmon is going to have to go defensive, I think, this time around.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to hug that white line at the moment here, Eric Harmon, because he wants to send Maxwell around the outside. Is he going to be able to get him? Don't give him that inside line. You're leaving the door wide open. If he was close enough, you would have been in trouble. Paul LeMay, Lucas Vieira on Bramer, not being able to get through. Bird's closing in on Buson. As I said, Buson was in no man's land. He's going to find himself dragged into this action very, very shortly here. Eric Harmon is still holding on, but McHutchison not far from him. Is it going to be a matter of more, not if, but when?
Well, he's responded to Harmon's fastest lap by Hutchison, because now he's posted a new fastest lap. And you can see he's closing in, almost taking a slightly different line to what Harmon is doing. It's the exit of turn 6 of Moss is where he's going to find the most time at. So he needs a strong exit out of here if he's going to get onto the gearbox of Harmon and get an overtake done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got to try and get an exit out. Under the Mobile 1 bridge he goes. Is he going to be able to close in?
He's too far back.
I
too
don't
far
think
back.
he is. I don't think he is. Watch the time on the left. 1.6, 1.5, 1.4. Harman's giving him the inside again. He's not.
Oh, he is. He's giving him the inside. I can't believe it.
That's 2 races in a row. He did exactly the same thing with Luke Maxwell. I don't get why.
We'll see if he's got anything to respond to that. As Jamie Bird is the one who's posted a new fast up of the race whilst we've been talking about that battle. And he's looking to make inroads on Mike Bousson ahead. You can see Brummer continuing to struggle. You can see Paul LeMay and Luke Maxwell all over him.
Yep. They are all in here as well. Vieira, Bramer, LeMay, and obviously Maxwell in the back of him. You've got Bird closing in on Bousson. Bousson slowly getting onto Eric Harman. Harman's trying to keep up with Maxwell, but again, Harman opened up the inside line. I don't get that. That's 2 races in a row he's done that.
Well, it's cost him there, and it's almost like he's gifted that to Hutchison. But let's hope he proves us wrong in the remainder of this one. I know he's got Mike Bousson he's having to worry about. I just worry, as Luke Maxwell has hit trouble, and he's out of the race, James, for a brief moment before the connections come back alive again. But I think what Harman was worried about, if he kept on battling with Hutchison, it would have allowed the likes of Bousson and Bird to close in, and this explains why.
Yep. It will. Why is Luke Maxwell in pit lane?
He's had a connection issue, I think, James. I don't think it's an accident that he's had.
Yeah. Oh. Did he blink out again?
He's come in.
Just coming into pit lane. Not sure on that one. Why that's a thing, but Bousson now on the back of Eric Harman.
Well, the battle for second place is intensifying between Eric Harman and Mike Bousson. Jamie Bird, who's continuing to show his potential. It's Mike Bousson who has the fastest up of the race right now. It's a 1 minute 11.7, which is faster than what Eric Harman did on the last lap, and John Hutchison anyway. And he's coming alive a little bit now, is Mike Bousson. He thinks that he can get second place here and maybe even a win if he's lucky.
Yeah. If he can stay close enough to Harman, I think he's in with a shot here. But it's whether or not Bousson's quite got the capability. Lucas Vieira, again, fastest lap of the race. He runs a little bit wide, as does Jamie Bird in front of him. Yvonne Bramer now in the back, trying to close on to Paul LeMay. Harman hanging on like an absolute trooper here from Mike Bousson. Maybe he's not confident in taking the inside line while pushing. Yeah, but why open it up? If you're not confident, I understand that. But I think, you've got to look and come away from the curb, but don't leave it enough room where they can keep going up the inside of him. Isn't he going to do it again?
Well, Bousson's all over the tail of Harman now, James, and he looks to be, what does Harman decide to do? He cannot do the same things what he did last time. Well, he's going to the inside this time.
He is, though. Technically, he is. If Bousson had thought about that, he could have held that. Waited and waited and waited until Harman made that move. And then, there you go. Now Bird's going to get through on him.
Yeah, well, you have to say Harman's lost his momentum. I think his mojo's gone since he allowed Hutchison to go by. And Bird, well, he'll be thinking he will just do the same. Just sail past around the outside into turn number 8 at the S's.
Yeah, I don't get, maybe Harman's just sort of gone off the boil a little bit. Somebody's turned his gas heater down a little bit, and unfortunately he's just gone from a bubbling boil of heat down to a nice fizzling calm cold bit. I don't really know for Eric Harman. He seems to have just sort of gone off a little bit as he's coming through the race, still holding on to third. But I have to be honest with you, with Lucas Vieira and Jamie Bird coming in behind him, I think the terminology of only just does come into mind.
It's not close enough to have a go here, is Bird, this time around. We'll see what Harman decides to do. Will he give him the inside, or will he make him go to the outside? Well, there's enough room, actually, for the drivers to get through the corner this time around in single file. Vieira, it's good to see these coming alive in this third race because we didn't see anything really of him in race 2. But he's got a chance of possibly a podium if he can get it right, as he looms in behind Jamie Bird and Eric Harmon. Harmon's pace is gone. Harmon's pace is gone from what it was at the beginning.
Yeah, cow tyres. I don't really know. I don't think he's burnt them up this early. We're only 15 minutes in. It's a rough track, but I don't think it's that rough. Vieira.
That was far too ambitious.
Oh, he got his elbows out, though. He definitely got his elbows out. Luca Vieira. I don't know if it was too ambitious or if it was there and then...
There was not enough room for both of them to get through, James, in all honesty. I know he went for it. Yeah, that was not his corner. That was not Vieira's corner at all. That was too ambitious, and he paid the price for it.
Harmon survived there, I think. Buson and them two coming with Bird and Vieira coming together. He did survive. We've got the last 10 minutes to go. Luke Maxwell lost all sound through his headset set. So that's why he pulled in, because he had no sound at all, Luke Maxwell.
It's a shame.
He didn't charge his battery on his headset. And his headset cut out. That's why he had no sound. Luke, you absolute plonker. Oh, there we go.
Mike Buson has got a bit of ground to make up on Hudson over at 1.7 seconds back from the Scot, who looks to be on his way to another... Oh, there's a spin! That's a spin involving... That's Mike Buson from second!
Yeah, Mike Buson, unfortunately, looked like he's just gone round. Caught the grass on the outside. Yeah. And unfortunately for him, he drops down the order now. Mike all the way down in 6th. That's going to free him up there. Bird and LeMay are now going to battle for that final podium spot. Eric Harmon is being saved by everybody making mistakes in behind him.
He's had a very lucky race so far as Eric Harmon, because I would have thought he would have been swamped one by one by these drivers. But hats off to him for staying in it. But I'm sure he'll feel like he could have done a little bit more when Hudson was trying to get by him.
Yeah. LeMay almost got by Bird. He's looking up the inside of turn number 1. Oh, Bird's giving him the squeeze. He forced LeMay onto that curb. He gave him just enough room, and I do mean just enough room. Through turn 2 they go. And LeMay still fighting with Jamie Bird here. Going into turn number 3. And he's having a... Oh, swing! Jesus Christ. Carry on, Tom. Something's just gone flying across my desk and not water everywhere.
Okay, well, we'll watch LeMay and Bird go into a battle of their own for the final podium position. LeMay in the number 27 behind Bird. And will we see an overtake around this time around? Well, I don't think Bird's going to have the benefit of a draw, because I think he's too far away from Eric Harmon to use that to his advantage to fend off LeMay this time around, approaching the S's. Will LeMay go to the outside and make a move, or will he go to the inside? He's trying to go to the inside. Does Paul LeMay, but Bird just about holds him off. I don't know how many times Bird changed direction across the straight, but LeMay had to try something different there and try and make it as difficult as possible. But don't expect that to be the last between these two.
Yeah, apologies for that one. Just had a glass of water go flying across my desk due to being joined on my desk by something coming off the wall. So that was nice. Lucky enough, it wasn't my monitors. But there we go. So, yeah, LeMay's got 6 minutes, maybe 7 minutes here. Bird still managing to hold on and just about there. But even he's struggling with slipping and sliding.
Well, you can see Bird all over the place a little bit, and LeMay taking all the different lines and then some as he goes through turns 5 and 6, right on the apex. Does LeMay, can he get it pinned to the floor and get onto the rear of Bird? It feels to me like he's a little too far away compared to last time, but will he decide to go to the outside and complete the slingshot manoeuvre maybe into 9 and 10?
Yeah, he's trying to hit Paul LeMay. Put it around the outside of turn number 8. And through he goes. Is he going
He's
to be
done
able
it.
to hold on to the inside of 9? He is. Bird's going to come back, carry more speed through 10. Bird's going to still managing to hold on to him here as well. LeMay alongside Jamie Bird. They've been side by side for the last 3 corners. Now the 4 corners into turn number 1. Bird over the curb, and unfortunately doesn't manage to hold on to that position. For Paul LeMay goes through. Job done for them, but great racing from the 2 of them.
Yeah, enormous respect between the 2 all the way through that. And it was as I was predicting, James, in how LeMay was going to get that overtake done. It's just having the inside line for turn 9. As you get that car alongside enough, if you have the inside line for 9, because it's a sharper left-hander compared to that right-hander of 8, then that will give you all the momentum through turn 10, and then through into 1 when it's faster. So very, very well done there from Paul LeMay to get through into 3rd place. Jamie Bird's having to drop back to 4th. Mike Bousson is in 5th place as we speak, off that spin, which cost him P2 a few laps ago. And it seems to be settling down, but not between these 2 in picture.
No, but still fighting it out. Cal there as well, just learnt something new. He's just said, next time have a beer, at least the glass will be empty. I said, well, I don't drink, Cal, on that one. But there's not actually a shred of alcohol in my house, to be honest with you. Unless I find some crusty old wine bottles that I've had about for 10 years that people have given me that I've never ever drunk, of course, Cal. That could be a possibility. But these guys are going to continue to fight for the last 5 minutes. McHutchison out in front, Harmon in 2nd, LeMay and Bird. Bousson slowly, he's going to be closer now after that incident with Bird.
Yeah, Bird did very well. He had to lift off the throttles to make sure that the car pointed the right way. I think he got a dip on the grass, actually. He dipped the left rear tyre onto the grass, as we've seen frequently throughout tonight. And Bird, well, he was a very lucky man not to spin the car around like Mike Bousson did at that same corner.
Yeah, I do agree on that one. But Bousson's now closed up behind him. That one little slide has allowed Bousson into the picture. 22 minutes gone, nearly 3 minutes to go of this race. Over the line goes John McHutchison. He's going to have about 3 minutes. What's he going to have? About
3 laps.
About 3 laps in it, give or take.
Yeah, it'll be a 21-lap race by the looks of it, and he's on his way to victory, is McHutchison. Unless he makes the daftest of errors, I have to say it's going to be another race win coming his way.
Yeah, for his sake, I hope he don't, because we will see it. There we go. So let's hope he doesn't make the daftest of errors. Eric Harmon, you are a very lucky man and survived by everybody else making mistakes in behind you. Bousson and Bird in turn 4. Bousson's made that mistake. I really did think he was going to do it again.
Well, he's got a chance into turn 8, James, although he's way too far back. He got not quite the exit he needed to get into the slipstream and pull alongside, so he'll have to wait another lap before he thinks about getting a job done on Jamie Bird. And how far is it now? He's too far back. He won't do it from there. But Bird is going to have to go into defensive mode. He may as well forget about Paul LeMay for now and just focus on keeping Mike Bousson back.
Yeah, John McHutchison goes over the line, starts the penultimate lap. Bird, Bousson, LeMay kicks up a little bit of dust, as done Ewan Bramer. And he overtook Lucas Vieira earlier on, of course, after Vieira's issue. But these guys still, as they are, and are still fighting. Oh, Mike, it's not going to do you any favours into 3. Feathering that throttle now, getting it down here on the roll bar of this SR8 through the left-hander we go, dropping down through Quebec into Moss. Now up the other side through the right-hander. Can he carry more speed? No. And I don't think he's going to get him this lap.
No, he won't. He's too far back. He needs the sweetest of exits to just... He essentially needs more exit speed than what Bird is doing. That's all he really needs, and he use it to his advantage to get into the slipstream to have a go. John McHutchison is about to start the final lap of the race, but this is the action we want to be looking at, which is Jamie Bird and Mike Bousson. This is expected to go to the checkered flag. Has Mike Bousson got any ideas left?
McCutcheon gets the fastest lap, just going into this. That double apex turn looks tricky. It is. You can't really express the downhill section here. You go left here, which is fine, and then you come through right of turn 3, but I can't really express to you, this is blind. This is a blind turn. You aim at the tree just there in front, and you hope that it sticks. You go down, and then you're going up the other side. On board like this doesn't really do it justice, Mike.
That's costing 2 positions because Lucas Vieira is going to go through. And yeah, we've seen it on the last lap of races, James, where we see a drivers dip a wheel on the grass and then lose it.
Yeah, round he goes there. Not going to stay long because John McCutcheon is coming over the line, wrapping up 2 wins again here this evening. He takes the win in race number 3. Then Eric Harmon. Man, you survived. That's all I can say on that one. Paul LeMay comes over the line in 3rd. Buisson does recover to 7th. Vieira comes over the line there as well. Stefan Mellis is going to finish this off in 8th place. And then, of course, we've got Graham Matthews in 9th. So good job from all of these guys as well. And some great action taking shape here. And Matthews comes over the line to finish off the final race of this evening. So all 3 races are done. And here are the results of the feature. John McCutcheon's 2nd win in a row takes a victory with Eric Harmon in 2nd and Paul LeMay in 3rd. And then we've got Jamie Bird, Iwan Bramer, Lucas Vieira, Mike Buisson, Stefan Mellis, Graham Matthews, and then Luke Maxwell, who didn't charge his headset. So there we go. Goes over on that one, unfortunately, for Luke Maxwell. Very interesting. We've had John McCutcheon take 2, Vieira take 1. We've had a good mix of drivers on the podium. In fact, there's only 1 driver that's been on the podium more than once. Actually, 2 drivers have been on the podium more than once. Do you know who they are?
Well, Mahutson's obviously one of them, and the other will had been Paul LeMay.
Yeah, Paul LeMay, 2 third places in race 1 and race 3. Buisson is the other podium with Lucas Vieira, Bird, and Harmon, and of course McCutcheon there as well. We can have a chat now to the wonderful Mr. Paul LeMay as he's into the booth. Takes 2 third places, 1 in race number 1, 1 in race number 3. We will have a chat about race number 2 in a little while. But Paul, welcome into the booth, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. A bit hot and sweaty, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Mosport is, though, isn't it?
Sorry, mate?
Mosport is really good fun. I don't think it matters what car you put around Mosport. I think it is still good fun and can provide great racing. Yeah,
it's just one of those classic tracks which, it seems to make the racing really close. And yeah, it's just a whole heap of fun.
Absolutely. And 2 third places tonight. Are you happy, or do you think there was more in the locker?
I think I had reasonably good pace tonight. Race 1, I got away pretty well and checked to my right going into turn 1. And it was clear, but I didn't realise that Luke got such a great start. He was up the inside. So my mistake, I turned in on him.
Well, yeah. But then again, you had somebody on your outside. So yeah, that wasn't exactly 3 wide into turn 1 was going to work, was it?
No, I was. I'm on a single monitor as well, so I've got to press a button to look left and right. So it makes it a bit tricky. But yeah, I kind of tried to. Well, you just try and do your best you can in those situations, But yeah, it was good fun tonight. Hold on a minute. What happened to Paul LeMay in VR? I'm about a second off the pace. So
in VR?
In VR.
Wow.
So I've given up.
Oh, yeah. Mate, that would have made it a lot easier. You just would have had to turn your head right and left.
Yeah. Well, that was the aim, was to do this championship VR, but I'm so slow. I've decided to give it a miss.
Oh, keep practicing, dude. Trust me. The immersion is awesome.
Yeah,
I
it's
reckon you
great.
can do it as well. Listen, bud, thanks so much for joining us. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, Stefan. He lost the rear end in front of me, and I piled into him, and he was very apologetic. And I said to him, "It's just one of those things, you know." He couldn't help it, but yeah. So shout out to Stefan. You know, he was a bit worried, I think.
Yeah, that's all right. He's nice enough. He drives in enough series, mate. He knows enough on that one. Well, buddy,
Yeah.
listen, have a good Christmas because it's only a couple of
And
days
you,
away.
mate.
Have a good New Year, and we will see you back at Suzuka in January.
Yep. Take care, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, mate. Have a good one.
Cheers. Bye.
That was Paul LeMay. Now I'm going to have a chat with the Scotsman, of course, who's took the win in race number 2, took the win in race number 3. Had an interesting race in race number 1. Let's have a chat with him. John, welcome in, bud.
Hi, James. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Good, thanks. Sweaty as usual.
Oh, mate, aren't we always? Listen, let's have a quick chat about race number 1. Nothing really major, a bit rough.
Just got caught up in another incident, and that was it. Car was round, lost
Yeah.
the wing and lost steering.
Was that done by your poor qualifying?
Well, it put me out of position. Well, maybe not out of position because all the guys were fast tonight, and I was struggling to get the tyres up to temps until really late in runs. So it was my own fault.
No, okay, mate. And then went on and won in race number 2 and race number 3. Should cement your position at the top of the standings there, bud. You lead going into Suzuka next time out.
Hey, looking forward to Suzuka. Haven't driven there a while in the SR8. I was speaking to Luke about it, how good it is in these cars, especially. I think is it, what do you call them? The two left-handers.
2 left-handers.
Not Degna one, and it's the other ones.
Up through Spoon.
Aye, spoon, that's it. That is so good in these cars. You're hanging onto the steering wheel. So looking forward.
Yeah, it should be a good one there, fella, as well. Listen, mate, have a good Christmas. Has it started already up in Scotland?
I've just about sobered up from Friday night, so just you know how it is.
It's like a 10-day celebration up there, isn't it?
We'll start again in Christmas, then suffer a new year again.
All right, mate. Well, listen, dude, have a good Christmas for you and your family, mate, and I'll see you in 2025.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone in the league and yourself and your family.
Oh, man,
Cheers,
you
guys.
take care. Bye.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Well, there you go, guys. As well, as suggested, that is the end of this series for 2024. Don't worry, we will be back on the 6th of January. Now, we do only have one broadcast coming up before we go into 2025, and that will be the IGP on this Sunday coming. Is their race will be going ahead. That's round number 2. But that is it. That's all we've got coming up on the JPB YouTube channel as well. Tom, final word for you from 2024? Tom? Oh, hold on. Tom, final word from you?
My laptop had died for a moment. But yeah, it's been brilliant action throughout the 3 races we've had. John Hutchinson taking 2 wins and Lucas Ferrer taking the 1. The Souls seem to have enjoyed it. Last race it will probably be that they'll be doing before Christmas Day, spending their time with loved ones. And I'm sure the likes of JPBroadcasting will be taking a well-earned break from it as well, because it's that time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We will be back. As I say, we've got one on Sunday coming up from IGP. And then I think that is it until the 3rd of January. I am just going to check here really quickly because I can't actually remember on that one. So if you have joined us for the whole of this year, guys, thank you so much. 2nd of January, the Thursday, we are back as well. If you have joined us for the whole of this year, thank you so much. It's been a absolute barnstorming year on JBB. We've just gone from strength to strength. Great, more and more commentators coming on board as well. So it's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much to all of you that has joined us. That's going to wrap it up for the Radical SR8 Championship in 2024. Don't forget, rejoin us again in January. I think it's the 6th of January for the next round at Suzuka. And if you are about on the 29th, come and have a look at IGP. There's some great racing taking shape there as well. But I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Tom Cairns here this evening. Take care, guys. Have a great 2024 Christmas and New Year. Don't do anything silly. And remember, keep safe over Christmas. Good night.